Right guys, welcome to the vlog number 300. 300! That's insane! It's nuts! It's absolutely crazy. But, having said that, I will tell you this. I started vlogging a little over a year ago, in July 2015. It wasn't a daily vlog by any stretch of imagination in the beginning. I started with a couple of tour vlogs from Slither's 2015 summer tour. And then when I came back to Dublin, I was kind of struggling to figure out what to vlog about. So I did only one here and there. And then every time I went somewhere, I started vlogging more and more and more. Then finally in January 2016, which is January this year, I decided to do daily vlogging, which is a task of its own. Whew. And then I got into a routine of it, and then I really started enjoying it. And now we're at like 300 vlogs. Like, that's just crazy. But it doesn't really mean anything. It means that I got to some sort of number. Nothing changes when you get to 300. My ambitions for these vlogs are exactly the same that they were in 299 that they are in 300. Except that my ambition to get better at this probably rises with every single vlog just a tiny bit, you know. I'd like to draw your attention to something. I don't know if any of you know a guy called Seth Godin. If you don't, go and check him out right now. He writes a blog which has been very, very inspirational for me for years now. And he wrote a blog post today on his blog. This one, and I hope Seth doesn't mind me reading this, but I will read it to you guys because the timing of it couldn't be any better. Make something great. Not because it will sell, not because it's on the test, not because it's your job, merely because you can. The alternative, waiting for the world to align in a way that permits you to make something great, is hardly worth pursuing, right? And I think that's so true. It kind of sums up a lot of the stuff that I've been doing in the past few years. So often people ask me that, why are you doing this? Like, are you getting paid for this? Why are you doing this? No, I'm not. Yeah, maybe it can lead to something in a further down the line, but right now, no, I'm doing this because I enjoy making the vlogs. I enjoy sharing my stories, my thoughts. I'm doing this because I want to get better at making videos. It's become in the past year a part of me. It's become part of who I am, and with these vlogs I want to make something great. We live in a society where there's, like, without a doubt, there's an overload of noise, of information and stuff coming at us all the time. We get very kind of bogged down about that sometimes, that it's too much. I don't particularly think it is. I just think it's, you know, we have to have our own filtering systems and figure out what we get caught on, you know. It's not that we're bombarded with so much stuff, it's just we're becoming more selective than we were before. We used to watch what was on TV because it was there and it was the only choice. Now we can go and choose other stuff to watch. And a lot of us choose to watch stuff that isn't very mainstream at all, and that's just the way it is, and I don't think that's a bad thing. But what I do think that there's a lot of negative elements added to that noise all the time. And the purpose of my vlogs, if nothing else, is to hopefully add something positive into that mix. You know, bring the level of the balance between negative and positive up by one vlog at a time. Hopefully. That's what I'm hoping, and that's what I hope you guys get out of these vlogs. And hopefully it becomes something that you enjoy. Or hopefully it already has become something that you enjoy. I've no great plans for this 300 vlog, but I thought I'd tell you a little bit about some of the things that I've learned along the way. Maybe it can help you with something that you're doing, because the thing is, you don't have to be vlogging to put some of my things that I do to use. Pretty much anything these days kind of filters through everything else that you do. So you can watch somebody be very successful at something completely different and you can learn something from it. I don't know how successful I am, but here's some of my things I've learned along the way. The vlogs, even though I've been releasing one song every week for the past 2 3/4 years, the vlogs more than anything else have taught me the value of consistency, being consistent, being persistent, and doing something over and over and over and over again. Don't ever underestimate that. If you're doing something creative and you're willing to put that creative process out there, you're willing to share the results with the world, by the nature of the world that we live in, you will get feedback. You get a feeling what people think about it. And I think that sharing, even the process of like learning, you share that, and the feedback will make you a better person, better at what you're doing. With the consistency, vlogging definitely has brought me a different level of, taught me a different level of self-discipline. Committing to releasing one video every single day, it forces you to have more self-discipline. It forces you to be more disciplined with yourself. I was hesitant of it before I started this. Do I really want to have that kind of commitment and that kind of pressure in my life? Now I think it's one of the better things that I've ever done, without a doubt. What else have I learned? I've learned a lot about using the tools. And it's a funny thing, I've learned as much about using the tools as I've learned about not overly relying on the tools as well. Because we can all blame the equipment that, you know, it would be much better if you have this and that and the other camera. I know I've spent a fair bit in the past year on equipment. I was very smart with what I bought. I bought the best that I could with second hand, in a good condition and with, you know, with as reasonable amount of money as possible. But having said that, this iPhone here filmed the first nearly 100 vlogs. When I was doing the channel trailer, which is by the way up on my channel at the moment, I was going through a lot of the old stuff, and there's a lot of good stuff even in the early vlogs, you know. No, yeah, I admit that there's problems with it there, like, you know, it doesn't have image stabilization, this model, the newer ones do, but you work around those things, you know, you make it work the best that you can with what you have. And sometimes those limitations make you focus more on the actual content itself. It makes you focus on the story itself because you have to. I mean, there's times that I still prefer the G7X for kind of on-the-go vlogging than the 70D, because it gets less on the way of doing it. And I think that's the important part of it. But having said that, I do enjoy using the equipment. I do enjoy learning about them. I still so much to learn about the 70D. The editing software. In the beginning I used the iMovie, now I use the Final Cut Pro X, and I've learned so much about Final Cut Pro X, but even more so I learned it's not about the trickery, it's about the storyline and the content that you already have there, and how to make the best out of what you have there. I can honestly say I'm pretty confident with the Final Cut Pro X at this stage. I know there's still so much more to learn, but I'm happy with where I'm at the moment, and looking forward to learning more. The other thing that I have learned in this process is that how much more I still have to learn. There's a couple of things I'm definitely not great at. I'm learning and I'm getting better, but just my passion isn't in those elements of this job. Things like SEO, which is search engine optimization, things like catchy titles. I'm really bad at kind of putting myself out looking from outside and trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. And then the actual promotional part of the videos, I think I'm doing okay, but I think there's still so much more to learn, and I think I'm only scratching the surface of what the potential is. Some of these things I might look in the long term to outsource if I find somebody who's kind of willing to go on the journey with me and help me with those parts of the job. I definitely consider it, just because the creative process itself can be very... I'll give you an example. Yesterday I had a really busy day in the office where I edited a vlog, I filmed one vlog and I edited it. Then I had a couple of the songs that are coming out while I'm on the next trip. I had to write blog posts for them and have them set up. So there was hours and hours and hours of just setting up stuff, and you know, it was kind of creative stuff, but it got to the point that later on that night I grabbed the camera and went out, and I was walking around the town, and just like nothing kind of inspired me to capture it the same way than it usually does. Usually I'm really good at kind of seeing things out of nowhere. I've seen things where a lot of people might walk past and never see something in them, and I capture a picture of it and show it to you guys in a different kind of way. It wasn't happening, and the reason why it wasn't happening because at the end of that long day, my kind of the creative juices were just completely run out, and I needed to recharge them and just, you know, basically sleep at that point, you know, sleep and eat, because I haven't done either one of them properly yesterday. So if I can get somewhere along the line somebody else to help me with some of those other like SEO and you know the titling and maybe the video promotion parts of it, I would consider it, because it can be it can drain that creative side of me out a little bit sometimes, and that's why I have to organize my days the way that I usually try to do as much of the creative stuff earlier in the day, and which is probably the same reason that by the time I get to the SEO and catchy title stuff, I just kind of but that's just the way it goes. So those are definitely things that I want to learn more about. I want to learn more about them, but I also want to see other people do it, and I'd love to see somebody try to do it with some of my stuff as well. But we'll see what the future holds. The last thing I definitely have learned is how much I love vlogging. It is crazy. Like, I used to write blog posts every day, and I did feel like it was some sort of outlet for me. But vlogging is just a completely different thing. I just enjoy capturing and documenting things around me. I enjoy this, talking to you guys. I enjoy sharing my journey and showing things from my perspective. And I love it when I hear people actually, you know, coming back and seeing that they get something out of it, the way I see my perspective might be on something. So I'm definitely more passionate today than ever to just keep on going. Like, okay, we have 300 vlogs under the belt. If nothing else, I would call it just a learning curve at this stage, and I'm only getting started in the actual making this stuff as good as I can. And I want to bring you guys to as many places, and even the day-to-day life. I want to show you more of things from a different perspective and make you kind of question maybe some of the things, and hopefully you can relate to some of the things. And I want to be in this journey as long as possible, and I want to share it with you guys, and I hope you guys come along to this journey as long as possible as well. So listen guys, thank you so much for sticking around with me. Thank you so much for watching the videos. It really means the world to me. If you haven't done so yet, please do subscribe. Please hit the like buttons. Please leave comments. It all means the world to me. I read and respond to every single one of those comments. That's the beauty of being in the beginning part of this YouTube game. You can do that, and I really enjoy doing that part of the job. And listen guys, next week is going to be an insane week. I've got so much happening. We're going to Hong Kong. We're going to Bali. Anyway, stick around for another 300. Hopefully a lot more than that. And thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon. Tonight we feel like we belong. We're not alone. Tonight we give a helping hand to a fellow man. Tonight we hear an answer to our call. Tonight we know that nothing can stop us at all.